This is Otaku no Video, Episode 9, Icon. So, how was the con?
Not bad. I'm far more interested in making AMVs now.
Really?
Yeah.
You mentioned that some of the AMVs were quite good.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff, but well, we're fast approaching a point where the video doesn't even look like the anime.
Ah, okay.
They showed a newer one that I'd never seen. That's got a newer AMV and Iron Editor that was like the oldest thing in there. I think was probably something that's not even licensed. I can't even remember,
Wow.
but everything used in it was 2 years old. It had you probably heard of something Birdie Decode.
Oh, yeah. Birdie the Mighty?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That was the main thing. It had Macross. The video was made right after Macross Frontier aired.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really. It had a lot of really weird stuff in it. I think it had Amazing Nuts in it as well, and just all around, just like wow, this is really weird. But very very impressive stuff. And actually, I guess this is a trend, is to put filters over stuff so that it's, I mean, some of the top, like this Death Note AMV won the serious category, and it's just, visually it's very dark. And I have one that I just downloaded, which is the top serious AMV on animemusicvideos.org, and it's even more so than that. It's just entirely different, which is awesome. There's also an Azumanga Daioh parody video of the Nightmare Evangelion AMV.
Nice.
Which was hilarious because they didn't even play Nightmare. They just played that one, and a whole bunch of people got it. It's like, thank you. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, and also I went to the AMVs in the beginning panel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, with the first AMV creator ever.
Who was that?
I don't know his name, but 1983, he was the only person making them for sci-fi something. And it, he was showing them, and it was just like, wow, this is, it was mostly Star Blazers, and then he showed one of Mobile Suit Gundam, with,
consider that there were only 2 Gundam series in existence at that time. Wow.
How did you get footage? Yeah, but well, let's put it this way. And the Bacano video actually won the action category, which was
cool.
Really surprising. But just really cool to be around a lot of people who actually buy R2 DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
It's, and I guess that's the most ethical way would be to watch fan subs but buy R2 DVDs.
Yeah.
Of course, no sorry for a lot. Yeah, I know. Not importing.
No, $50 a disc. No, sorry.
But a lot of people do that, especially AMV people who are really passionate about that because, higher quality footage is the only way they can get it. So,
and I've done it before. It's just it's something you can't do for a lot of shows. There's just the expense would pile way up.
Yeah, but it was really cool to see a lot of those things. I actually went to the Crunchyroll panel, and who should I spy across the other side of the room but Mr. Justin Savakis.
Nice.
Of course, I don't think anybody else other than the other ANN people knew he was there.
Yeah. That
was a really scary panel. You have no idea what CR wants to do in the future. It's really scary. And I think the scariest part for me was the guy who asked who thought that Crunchyroll did the dub for Welcome to the NHK.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, okay.
Yeah. So, I would expect Crunchyroll right now to be in a place where we just started the site and folks started coming to us and it's neat and all, but we have no idea what they're what we're doing. Is that accurate?
Not entirely.
Okay.
Miss Vu Nguyen or whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's a Vietnamese name, but every time I stumble upon it, I can't pronounce it.
Nguyen?
Yes.
Nugent.
Nugent? Okay.
Yeah, I knew someone with that name, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they're getting more titles.
Okay.
Media Blast.
I did see the big, we've licensed like every anime coming out in the next 2 years.
Yeah, but they have. I mean, I'm looking at the A&N thing. They've got a whole bunch of Media Blaster titles.
12 Funimation titles.
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
Gonzo is. I mean, that's where a lot of It's really scary that 4.4 million people now have all the cards in the industry. I mean, that the fate, sort of like, so to speak, almost the fate of the industry is in the hands of 4.4 random people who, to give you an idea, the room they were in was not packed at all.
Wow.
Yeah, very lightly filled. It was. I thought about sharing that on A&N's forum. Just to give you an idea, these people don't come to cons, or they're mostly in California.
Yeah.
But it was really.
Crunchyroll is, for my money, the big change in the industry in the past 6 months.
Yeah, well, as I said before, I think the scariest thing about the entire thing is just, we're going to be controlled by 4.4 million people who don't really know that much about anime. Some do, some don't, but I mean, the fact is that the vast majority of them don't, and...
Well, yeah, that's definitely where anime is going. I mean, it's becoming more mainstream. This is unfortunately what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean... It's been mainstream for a while, and I don't have a problem with stuff going on networks, but it's more of a...
I guess I mean mainstream in a different way. I mean, there are now more fans than there were. And that just leads to a lot of people who just aren't geeky. It's like what happens online with Web 2.0 services, or any sort of online service. Once it moves beyond sort of the hardcore geeks who understand we've all seen those communities where everyone knows what to do, everyone understands it, it gets popular, massive influx of people who don't know, what to do, and, the service has to figure out, what to do with those people. Yeah.
And but there was, I don't know, it was pretty cool, actually very scary, that guy, from Anime USA, who I know I talked to you about him. I don't know if you'll remember. The guy that I was up against in the in the AMV source spotting contest, who knew, like, when they aired AMV Hell 4 in the little tiny, if you've been there before, it's not a very large AMV hall. And maybe it seats like 70.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really tiny room. But nobody shows up, so it's okay. Which is also sort of weird, but whatever. But the guy who had already seen AMV Hell 4 all the way through and was staying in to watch it, he was at the Bandai Entertainment panel, which I shouldn't have made it into because I thought the line ended at about, halfway of where it actually was.
Okay.
So, and they didn't, this sort of ticked me off, they didn't make the people who were already in there from the last panel leave.
Oh, yeah, that's typical every year. That always ticks me off.
Yeah, but they did do it after the Bandai Entertainment panel, but that guy was in there, so when they announced the Lucky Star manga, he was the one who stood up and, screamed, and yeah, I know. And